Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be talking about protein and why do we need it and which foods are going to have protein. So protein is one of those macronutrients that we definitely need alongside healthy fats, water, and carbohydrates. So a lot of people love talking about protein. It's very necessary for growth, maintenance, for our muscles, and then it's also helpful for organs, tissue, skin, hair, nails, and teeth. It also helps keep us full. So that's one thing a lot of people don't realize about protein is it helps keeps us full and satiated. So making us feel like we really enjoyed that meal. So when we just have something that has carbs or fat, sometimes we may feel like we need a little bit more to keep us full and satisfied. And sometimes that could really mean that we need a little bit more protein or we didn't have a protein source at that time. With many clients, I find that sometimes that could happen if somebody has a bowl of pasta and they're going back for more noodles and they feel really bad. Well, it's not the noodles that are making them feel bad, it's that there's not enough protein in that meal. So that would mean including a protein source alongside those noodles. Or in many cases, something like rice and beans. And so, including maybe something else with protein to help with satiation and fullness. Um, Protein is very helpful for, again, keeping us full. And then it also is really helpful for a lot of body composition goals, including fat loss for many people. So, with protein, how much do we need exactly? So, protein recommendations can be pretty confusing. But one thing I do encourage is that for runners or athletes, we do need about zero point 0.6 to zero point 0.8 grams of protein per pound. This could also be applied to a general population, just depending on what a person actually needs to stay full. If you don't feel like breaking out your calculator, you can also divide your weight in half and out of 10 just to give you a good estimate of how much protein you would need. For example, that would be a 130-pound person would need about 78 to 104 grams of protein. 180-pound person would need 108 to 144 grams of protein. So that could be, again, very, very easily met through diet alone. I'll get a lot of questions about protein supplements and things like that. I'll cover that in an additional module, but for this module, we're covering protein and why we need it. Some of the protein sources that are easiest to get, and so that I usually encourage getting are going to be things like poultry, so chicken, turkey, things like that are going to be high quality protein. There's also going to be different kinds of fish. So salmon, tilapia, cod, halibut, trout, things like that are also going to be high in protein. Tuna is another great one. There could also be red meat sources such as bison, lean ground beef. So choosing lean sources about 90% above in lean tissue or 90% lean. So that way there's less fat in there. Um, Other sources as well could always be things like eggs, cottage cheese, low fat cheese is also a great source of protein, like part skim mozzarella. There's also cheese sticks, those could be really great and helpful. Turkey jerky, things like that. Also, lunch meats are also great sources of protein. So, sliced chicken breast, sliced turkey. Those are going to be exceptional, and including roast beef is another great option if you're looking for something with a lunch meat. Plant-based sources of protein are going to include things like tofu, seitan, tempeh, edamame is another great source of protein. So those kinds of things are going to be most helpful when we're looking at protein. And then also nut butters, they're a little bit more on the higher fat side of plant-based fats, but they are included in a protein source. Those could also be almonds, almond butter, peanut butter, if you like cashews, things like that. Those are also going to include some amount of protein. Also, some legumes are going to include some protein, and Greek yogurt is another great source of protein as well.